Hey guys, welcome to a Patreon exclusive live session where today we're going to be looking at packing all those bags for a trip to the Cook Islands. We're going to go over all the stuff that we pack, how we pack them, share a ton of packing tips. And yeah, this live session is made possible by our supporter on Patreon. So if you feel like joining them, you can put it, click on the link in the description below because they did watch this one live. You're going to see them chat to us just right next to Laura somewhere as we go over all of this. And that, if you're watching that right now and you're not a Patreon, you're probably a few months behind, but that's all good. We got plenty of content for you guys. Alright, so let's get started. Hi everybody, so just one thing, so obviously this is a very different setup than our usual. We are not in the studio, so we don't have the second screen, so we don't see if we're live, if everything works well. So if you are live with us right now, anyone, just make sure you talk to Laura on the live chat, because otherwise, well, we don't know you're here. We can't see any numbers right now. It's a very off-putting setup, I'd say, but yeah. Alright, so let's dive right into it. The reason why we're packing 3 bags is because when we travel with Laura, we usually travel with one check-in bag. So this one is the big check-in bag. We're flying with Air New Zealand, so the maximum weight would be 23 kgs. And then 2 carry-on, so one carry-on for Laura and one carry-on for me. So Laura is traveling with a big bag and the carry-on, and I'm traveling with just a carry-on bag because yes, even us, we don't need that much to travel with. So yeah, Laura, if you want to read some comments while I'm just getting things organized here.
Absolutely. So we have Anthony with us saying hello from Rodeo, California. Today I'm about ready to go to bed, but I wanted to just break in and say hi because it's 8 p.m. here in California. Well, thanks for joining us, Anthony, as our first Patreon to join us for this exclusive live session. And yeah, we don't want to stop you from getting a good night's sleep. So by all means, you can always watch the replay of this and get all our packing tips for what we go with packing for the Cook Islands right now. Yep. But a lot of these tips can be applied to traveling anywhere in the world, so we'll be going through that for the rest of the live session.
Indeed. So the bag is empty right now and we're going to be packing all of this. So first tip, I have a lot of dryer sheets in each of the bags that we have. So I have 3 of them, so I put one in the little mesh pack right here and then 2 in each, in one in each of the different compartments. The reason why I put dryer sheet is because it makes the whole suitcase smell a little bit better. Sometimes when traveling, when these things are a little bit kind of like, we have some dirty clothes, some clean clothes, it quickly starts smelling like you're a traveler. So by putting dryer sheet, it smells all good and it just freshen up the whole thing. The other thing that I have in a suitcase is some moisture absorber. That's the thing that you get in pretty much every time you buy like electronics or a brand new leather jacket, sometimes in your pocket or something.
And sometimes in the suitcases. I think they're probably included with the suitcases when we bought them. Yeah,
and those things basically just keep the moisture at bay, which is always kind of handy. So here you go, that's the first tip that I'm going to share with you guys. Alright, moving on. The first few things that we need to pack are not any of the clothes. Look at those packs right here. But the first few things you're going to be packing are some boring stuff. By the way, let me know if the audio is okay. Obviously the setup is very different. So we have a microfiber towel. We usually travel with 2 microfiber towels, if you remember, Laura.
Yes, we did.
But this time we only travel with 1 because, well, between staying in resort and hotel and all those kind of places, usually you have towels. So we only need it basically when we go on an outdoor tour, and we can definitely wait when in a Cook Island when it's super hot. We can wait a couple of minutes until drying ourselves. So what I do with this is that I'm placing it at the bottom of the part of the bag that has the handle. It's always kind of a pain to make everything flat, so I usually even things out and place it there. I'm going to put back that dry sheet right here. Now that's something that is probably just for us, but we always pack a dry pack. The reason why we have a dry pack is because it's pretty handy for us. We can put all our cameras in the dry pack when we do go on the tour on the boat or something like this. And yeah, we find that super handy to have because it just gives us peace of mind. We just drop all our camera gear in there, and sometimes Laura just drop a really wet GoPro in there, which defeats the whole purpose of having that. But that's okay.
Hey, that was a long time ago. I thought we were past that.
So yeah, and what I do with that is that I actually like to put it all the way at the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to try to show it to you guys, but you see there is some lining right here. Laura, do you want to use our our trusty little camera.
Of course.
Yes,
So,
nice. So press on 0. So at the bottom of the bag, there's a bit of a lining right here, in which a lot of people tend to hide drugs in there. We don't really recommend doing that. But in there, I like to put the dry pack. And by the way, there is a dry sheet in the dry pack as well. You can see it right here.
oh, so many dry sheets.
Yes. So I like to put it here because it keeps it basically kind of flat all the way at the bottom, and we only use it a couple of times during our trip, so it is easier. So up, this is going to be done. You can change the view now, Laura.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a bit embarrassing
When you're
struggle with that.
stumbling.
Here you go. But it's nice and flat right now.
We have someone else joining us in the live chat. We have Joey saying, hey, hey. And we also have Natasha saying, hi, I had a mini internet crisis, but I'm here.
It looks like it's a Patreon hangout now. I like it. I like it. Everybody is showing up. So yeah, you guys didn't miss too much, I promise. We just shared 2 tips. So at the end, you will want to 2-in-1, but we just shared 2 tips. Okay, so this is done. The next thing that we are...
The next thing is the 2 linen bags
Oh
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
here.
Here you go. I was looking for them.
Yeah.
So next thing, the 2 linen bags. The reason why we pack a couple of linen bags because we like to put our dirty, tighty whities in linen bags just in between washes. Just because like that is still quite breathable and it doesn't kind of make them stink forever.
Yeah, you don't want musty clothes in your suitcase.
Yes, and I'll put them on both sides over there of the handle as we talked about before.
Joey on the live chat is saying, I made it alive, I'm home. So
Oh yeah,
yay.
how was your flight all the way from
the UK, wasn't it?
UK. You flew from the UK, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you managed to find a flight eventually and get back to Australia.
Laura, would you be able to hold your notes so I can move
Of
the
course.
suitcase? Nice. Here you go. All right. Now we're gonna get on to the packing itself. You may want to move that camera so it doesn't. No, the small one, yeah. Okay. So cool. So as you guys have noticed, we use packing cubes and packing pouches. We're pretty big fans of packing cubes and packing pouches. And Laura will tell you why in a little bit of a minute. Do you want a pouch or a cube to show them a little bit what it is?
All right.
There you go.
So yeah, we have you done with that? Can I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just show it. Yeah.
All right. So what we like to use are these packing cubes. You can get them. They're all across like Amazon, any sort of store selling bags. They're kind of pretty big at the moment, but we do really like them because it does keep everything really organized in your suitcase or backpack or whatever choice of luggage that you prefer to use. And usually when you get a set of packing cubes, they come in many different sizes, so that obviously you can fit your larger, bulkier clothes. Perhaps what you're more likely to bring to New Zealand, you can fit in these huge packing cubes. But then we have really handy, much smaller ones, which you can see on the side over there.
You always want more small one than the big one, and then you have too many of the pouches. Those kind of sets are always kind of annoying because it's not always the right kind of amount of stuff. But yeah, we make it work. We make it work.
Yeah, so yeah, they're super handy, so that you're not sort of searching for hours in your suitcase or your backpack looking for like where the hell is that top I was looking for, or where are my undies, So you have everything sort of organized nicely, and it actually makes things easier to pack into your suitcase. And this is especially good when you're traveling around, going from different accommodation to accommodation, which is the style of travel that most people do in New Zealand in particular, moving around the country, and it makes it easier. You know how it is when the first time you pack a suitcase or a backpack, it is, it all fits perfectly, but then the second time, you just cannot remember how you got it all in there. So packing cubes for us fixes that problem, so that's why we use them, and we do recommend them. We use them on quite a few trips already. So that's packing cubes in a nutshell.
And when using packing cubes, the best way to use packing cubes is actually to roll your clothes in order to fit a lot of them in there. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but
that's beautiful.
It is absolutely fantastic looking, but also it allows you to fit so much more and to find really quickly what you want to find in there. So the way I'm folding things, I just kept one example of each of them, otherwise you're going to see me rolling for about 6 hours.
Would you like me to do a zoom in
boring.
on this?
If you do want to, yes, but we do have plenty of zooming options right here. I mean, plenty of rolling options. So here you go, 1, 2, And then you go from the bad side right here, because now it's, this one's going to stay together easier. And you roll and bam, you're all sorted, and this will be able to fit perfectly in there. And up. So those are Laura's tops. So there is 13 tops in total. We travel with 13 tops each because we do change clothes the admin day usually, because we do so much photos and everything. We like to, obviously you will never change clothes twice a day, but we do because we take so many photos. We don't want all the photos on our travel guides to always look the same. So in here I have 13 tops for Laura, some dressed up, some not too dressed up, but
yeah,
boom, here you go.
So yeah, another thing to add to that as well is what we would usually recommend to people if you are going on a long trip that's more than a week. We typically recommend for people to pack enough clothes or enough outfits for about 7 days, and know that you'll have access to laundry facilities. Especially in New Zealand, you'll have easy access to laundry facilities as they're in most accommodations. And yeah, but like Robin said, for us, because we are traveling for work, we are taking photos all the time. You know, sometimes we want to change our look a little bit just for the travel guides that we create. So yeah, that's why we pack a little more tops than we would usually recommend to other travelers. So yeah, just to make that clear.
And breaking news, I changed my mind about the hiding the dry pack down there, because I just realized that the zip is inverted inside. It's going to make it too hard for me to pick up if I have to pick up pretty quickly. So yeah.
Wow.
Nope, that. Is there anyone doing any comments right now?
Yes, there are. So we have Joey continuing with his... Oh yeah, so I made it alive, and then Joey continues saying, was a long 29 hours, flew from London to Frankfurt, then to Singapore, and then to Sydney. Yeah, that trip between Europe and New Zealand is a killer. It is so long, and yeah, 29 hours.
And Australia as well. I mean, obviously he's in Australia, but damn long, yeah.
Yeah. Going from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere is always quite a journey. So yeah, we've been there. We know your pain, but usually when you're coming to down under, it's usually worth it.
So another good reason to roll as well is that, and I've found, at least personally, I have found that it reduces the amount of creases on a lot of items, especially in my shirt. So I find that quite handy. So in here we do have Laura's bottoms.
Bottom?
Yes, Laura, all the many bottoms of Laura. So you get 3 different dresses, and then 1 skirt and I think 1 short. So there's 5 bottoms in there. In here, in this one here, we have, and same thing, we roll them, so we're able to pack in such a small bag right here. We have 2 bathing suits for Laura, 1 2-piece and 1 1-piece. Just because when traveling to the South Pacific Island, you also want to have something which are not too revealing. Obviously, there is no G-string.
It's not like
crazy.
Where it's like
yeah.
everyone's got their tops off.
We're not in Miami right here, so yeah, so it's all very conservative. And there's 2 board shorts for board shorts. All right.
Joey on the live chat says, good times. I packed 1 or 2 too many shirts and pants. Yeah, that's always the thing. You realize that typically when you're traveling, you tend to be more comfortable in a certain outfit in the end. It's just easier to go with. So I guess we obviously have packed too many of everything, but again, like we say, it's for so that we have some variety in our photos.
All right, so socks. Pretty boring, but I make little rolls of the socks, and here's both socks for Laura and for me. And it's in there, and we have about there's 6 for me because I do wear some pants more often, and there's 3 for Laura. In here it's underwear, my undies. You guys not gonna want to see my undies. So
get them out, Robin. Get them out.
Yeah. So for the underwear, I have 8 underwear, and Laura also have a set of 8 as well. Mostly I usually wear boxer shorts because I find that it's more my style, but I always pack 1 loose pair of underwear just in case, like it get kind of hot down there sometimes, especially in the South Pacific. And also have 1 set of underwear in merino wool. I don't usually like to wear merino wool underwear throughout all the time. But sometimes when we go on boats and everything, and we jump, we change from board shorts to normal outfit, etc., back and forth. Having merino wool is always kind of handy because it handles the being wet better. It doesn't get as cold as cotton and these kind of things. Speaking of underwear, we also have Laura's underwear right here. She does have about like 4 different bras, right? For every 2 days in a week.
Yeah.
And there is some strapless, there is some nudes, there is some blacks, there is a bit of a variety right here. And we have the same one of panties. Should I get those one out? You want to tell me like where we get them out?
No. If you didn't get yours out, then I'm not getting mine out.
Good. I'm going to put those ones in there.
I just have to say, guys, with the packing cubes right now, the way that it is all fitting into the suitcase, which, by the way, we're not selling these packing cubes or anything.
Yes,
we are
we're not.
absolutely not sponsored to say anything about these packing cubes, but it's just something that is always really cool. And yeah, the way that they're fitting into the suitcase behind us is just like a perfect puzzle over there. So yeah.
All right, so pairs of shorts going in the South Pacific. Obviously, I'm mostly going to be wearing shorts. So those one are my short and my bottoms. So there is one pair of hiking pants, one of those really lightweight, like those Columbia. I think this one is. 2 pairs of kind of a bit dress short, a bit more like what I'm wearing right now. There is 1 pair of hiking shorts, and for when I'm going to be in a plane, I have one of those hiking pants which zip and turn into shorts. So obviously, all the items that's going to be a little bit heavier are the items that we're going to wear on ourselves when we get on the plane. So here you go. This one is going here. Now we're going to move on to tops. Do you want to read a couple of comments before I go on tops? Or?
Absolutely. So we have Joey confesses that he definitely could have saved space and weight for my check-in. Yeah, we've been there as well. And Natasha says, yeah, I know I can survive with half of what I brought to New Zealand the last time. But the thing is, have you learnt your lesson from next time? Or when you're actually at the packing stage, there's always that niggling part in your mind where you're like, okay, I'll take this. Okay, I'll take that. And then you feel like, oh, just in case I need that, I'll pack a little bit extra. But will you learn from the last time, or will you do the same mistake, which admittedly I tend to do, and that is why Robin is more in charge of the packing, because he could be more in control of that. Or is that just me? Anyway, what else are we on to?
All right, so we're going to be doing tops. If you want to get a little closer with that, you can. So first up, so I have 13 tops. I have a mix in between. If you want to show me a little bit what I talk about. Okay. So I mix in between shirt and t-shirt. For each shirt that I have, I am packing a white undershirt, which is like a v-neck t-shirt basically, just because in the South Pacific you can sweat quite easily, and that's a good way to kind of like get rid of that. And obviously I do also have some merino wool tops because it is easier when we go on boats. So here you go, here's how I fold a t-shirt. One of the very easy ways to look at the collar right here. So I just fold where the collar is, just so I don't bend the collar too much. And up, I'm just going here and there, and then I'm just rolling from the top, and it goes all the way down. Beauty. And this one is going to go here. And now for the shirt, it's a little bit more of a science, but here is how it works. And yes, believe it or not, that is less crease than usually it is. So
this was ironed prior to packing, right?
It was. Okay, so I'm trying to keep everything in one line. Look at that. Abercrombie and Fitch. If you are hiring for folders, guys, you have my phone number. And here you go. And then I just roll from there, easy breezy.
Wow.
And look at that, it is ready to be packed.
Can we get a close-up of it in the packing cube, all nicely rolled up?
All nicely rolled up right here. And so yeah, I'm gonna zip that back, and that is done. So we do have a mix of both like dress shirts and everything for like evening dinners, and also we obviously, you guys know, we travel for work, so obviously we do have some business meeting as well. This one is a little bit more tight, but the good thing is, like, I mean, one of the thing, right, is that it's tight the time you're packing it, but as soon as you start traveling, you know, clothes are going to the dirty bag and also on your person. So pretty much after day one, it is so much easier to zip everything back. So don't be too scared if when you're packing, you are feeling like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a pain. Look at how long Robin is taking to close that packing cube right here. Again, this video is not sponsored by Brian Packing Cube or whatever company that is. Actually, in fact, we're not even going to tell you which brand that is because they're not the best ones. So this one here is going to go right there, and that is all my tops.
Before we move on to the next one, I'm just going to read the comments. So Joey says that I'll underpack next time for sure. Yeah, right, Joey. Yeah, right.
Everybody says that. Okay, this bag right here is the boring one. It's just the one that we wish we're not going to be using. That is just 2 rain jackets, some good looking rain jackets, so we can take some nice picture in case we're there. But also like good quality one. Like I hate those fanny pack kind of rain jackets, you know, that folds in there.
Oh yeah, like a poncho.
Yeah, like I don't like those kind of things. And also there's 2 merino wool jumpers in there. Same thing, just in case the weather becomes foul. You know, it is going to be the rainy season in New Zealand. So
in the Cook Islands.
In the Cook Islands, yes. So it is going to be.
But those 2 items are very much needed in New Zealand, like any time in the year anyway. So good to mention.
This is why I kind of said New Zealand, because if you say rain jackets, I just straight away think New Zealand.
Yeah. Joey comments on your folding level, Robin, and it is expert. Folding level equal expert.
Hey. All right. So there is a pair of jandals right here, and there is a pair of sandals for Laura right here. I'm not going to show you. Yeah, I'm not going to show you what jandals are. I mean, they're flip flops. But yeah, the reason why we put them in those secret pouch, that came with the packing bag is just because there is always like a little bit of sand or dirt and everything, so I just don't want it to go all over the suitcase.
But when you are traveling between the South Pacific Islands or coming to New Zealand, top tip for packing your shoes is that you should brush them down and clear them of any dirt or soil before packing them into your bag, because the biosecurity rules, especially coming into New Zealand, and the same applies for going to any of the South Pacific Islands, is that the biosecurity rules are very strict, and they request that if you have any dirt or soil on your shoes that you do clean them off before going through the borders. And it's easier to do that when you're in the packing stage of your trip rather than when you're actually at the borders and you're desperate to leave the airport.
She's right. Okay, so then we do have this very pretty and very pink toiletry bag.
Oh yes.
In there, I'm not going to go too much in details in a lot of different things that we have, but we do like to travel with soap bars, even shampoo bars if you want to give them a bit of a close-up right here. We do like to travel with those kind of things. There is mine on top and Laura's on the bottom, and that's what we use for both the body and the hair. So there's shampoo bar from, I think all those ones are from Lush.
Yeah.
And they're all in that box right here, so that minimizes the amount of plastic that we're taking with us. Couple of deodorant, Laura's contact lenses, and toenail clipper, and some tweezers.
Yeah. I'd hate to get a hangnail while I'm traveling, so yes. I need to have my nail clippers available.
So this is going to go in here, and obviously I will take that one back. We're not going to do Cook Island, until about a week from now. Yes, we're packing way too early, but we're obviously going to add toothbrush, toothpaste, and a bunch of extra things that we have somewhere on the list.
Toiletries are always the things that you end up packing last, because obviously they're the things that you tend to use in your daily.
But one handy tip, Laura, can you pass me your notes? So one handy tip that I would suggest to everybody to do when packing is to have a piece of paper next to them and to write the thing that you are not packing just yet, but you will need to pack later. Actually, can I get the phone? I just remember a couple of things to do.
The phone?
No, sorry, the
camera?
Pen. Sorry, I'm saying a lot of different things. So I need to add a phone, charger.
Oh yeah, they're all the last minute things. Is usually your phone chargers, your phones, your one phone, and there's usually things like, I don't know, like your hairbrush. Again, we said
your hair straightener. So Laura is packing a hair straightener for the first time. So we're gonna pack that in there. She needs another pair of jandals, some Panadol, some ibuprofen. Oh, we talked about that right here anyway. Okay, so then we have our first aid kit right here. So in short, anything that you kind of like, I need to go pick it up, or I don't have it just yet, or I need to not forget it, just put it all in one list when you're packing. And so then after you just check everything on the list, you put everything in the bag, and then you can get out the door way faster. So that's my missing list tip for you guys. All right. So we do have a first aid kit. So in here all those Ziploc bags right here, we reuse them all the time. So what I do and what I find really handy is that to make my first aid kit, instead of having to search every single time, what do I need to put in my first aid kit, I actually have little Ziploc bags, and on there I have basically a piece of sticker, and on here I'll write what I want to have in there. And so when we come back, I will empty all of it and put it in our medicine box right here in the house, and I leave the bag in there. So when I do it again, I literally just have, okay, I need Panadol and ibuprofen in this one, and then I need like surgical mask in this one, and then I need the mosquito bite in this one. So it's basically like some antihistamines. We need Laura's, I'm not going to say that. We need the diarrhea stuff, so there is some electrolytes and 2 different type of pills, which are really important for when traveling the South Pacific. Trust us, it happens quite often, and if you manage it well, it only happens for like half a day. So yeah,
it's not really something that you'll need for New Zealand so much. It's just in terms of the water quality in the South Pacific, sometimes a little bit hit and miss, the drinking water, but in New Zealand, drinking water is completely safe to have it from the tap.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not really something that you need to worry about too much when you're traveling in New Zealand.
And we'll talk about the water very soon anyway. Yes. So we have some Band-Aid wipes, sea legs, which are like pills for like seasickness. A complete course of antibiotics.
Yeah,
this one here. Obviously a full first aid kit, making sure that it's complete. So Laura is always in charge of the first aid kit, so she checks that everything is in there.
So that's also good we'll put it in our main suitcase when we're traveling over to the Cook Islands, because it has things in there like some mini scissors that, for instance, you won't be able to take into your check-in luggage onto your flight. But when we're actually traveling around the Cook Islands, we'll have it in the bottom of our day pack. It doesn't really take up that much room, but that's ideal. For instance, in the South Pacific, there's more of a risk of, getting cuts and stuff off coral, that sort of thing, that you might want to see to immediately after it happens. And the same can go for New Zealand as well. If you're on hikes and things, if you fall or whatever, the common one is getting blisters when you're on a hike. If you have that first aid kit, that just a small one in the bottom of your hiking pack, then that is something that I always recommend. I always feel like sometimes in the group I'm the only one that is carrying one, and then everyone's like, there'll be someone in your group that needs to use it at some point. So
my hero.
Yeah.
So the one thing I would like to talk about then, if we're talking about hikes, now of course we do have some Band-Aid, but we also have some alcohol swabs. So if you do have any cuts or anything, you do one quick alcohol swab, and then you put a Band-Aid, and that is a lifesaver. So we buy them, we buy like a pack of like 250. We bought a pack of 250. We're still going through that one pack, and since it's alcohol, they don't really go off. So it's kind of handy.
Joey says, don't forget the masks, which, to be fair, prior to COVID, it wouldn't even be a thing on our mind.
No,
really,
we had a surgical mask all the time, actually.
Okay, well, it's not
blue ones, but yeah.
Okay, but yeah, usually we would actually, like when we're traveling in the plane and stuff, we have obviously our reusable masks and stuff that we'll wear on the way to the Cook Islands. But yeah, if for whatever reason, we could. You could lose your mask or something crazy could happen, then we have these other ones as a backup, which hopefully we won't need, but it's always good to have, especially in the current climate.
Yes, it's more important for the current climate. Okay, so this last pack, I don't know where I'm going to be able to fit it, but we need to put it in there because we do have sunscreen, coral safe, all that. But if you guys notice, I'm putting the sunscreen in a biological hazard specimen bag, but the reason being is that in case it explodes or anything, it doesn't go everywhere on your suitcase. So yeah, put it in a Ziploc bag, it makes life perfect. Some board games, obviously we're really big gamers. If you guys don't know, you may want to check some of the videos that we have of our favorite travel board games. Anyway, I need to put that in one of the day packs I'll carry on, because we're going to have to play at the airport. It's going to be boring otherwise.
Yeah.
We do have our belts. We have one of my favorite travel gadgets, which is a scale to know if the bag is too heavy or not. We have some insect repellent, like a stick that you can put around to not be eaten. We have a pack of buffs because it gets really hot. To be fair, we do wear buffs all the time in New Zealand as well, just at least around the wrist to get rid of the sweat. It's kind of handy.
And for me, it's one of the, I don't wear hats, so it protects my head from the sun.
And we both wear glasses, so We have 2 glasses cases, so we can put our glasses safely in case we jump in the water or anything, and 2 cases for our prescription sunglasses as well. So don't forget the extra case for your glasses. I forgot it last trip we went, and I was pretty sorry about it because I was really stressed about my glasses. So that is what we have on this. This is kind of like the whatever, I don't know.
Miscellaneous,
Miscellaneous,
I think.
yeah.
So yeah, it also goes for if you are wearing contact lenses. It's always good to have a spare pair of. When it comes to those sort of like everyday uses, like things that maybe to do with medication or toiletry wise or stuff like that. And if you do take regular medication, for example, it's always good to have an extra set of that medication. Maybe even as a pro tip, in different locations, just in case, for instance, if you're checking,
Good tip.
if your check-in luggage gets lost, for instance, then you'll have a spare set of that medication, like for instance in your carry-on luggage. So yeah, that's always good to keep in mind if you do need some of those daily essentials, and it's always good to have an extra set or pair of whatever it could be. Just in case the unlikely but the worst should happen.
Alright, so I've decided that those are going to go in here, and those 2 ones are going to go in our carry-on to make some room. Alright, you want to do a close-up right now? I'm packing this big one right here, so there is our check-in bag right here. So we're having this side right there. Look at that, doesn't it look nice?
That looks nice and snug.
So snug and so sexy, so well organized. Okay, I'm going to flip this one around so we don't have like zip fighting each other's zip. And I'm going to close that. Usually around here I will put a copy of itineraries, so it's kind of handy. And there, this one is going to be closed right there. And plenty of extra room just in case we end up buying a million souvenirs.
Now we need to see if it zips up. This is the moment of truth.
Sorted. Easy as.
Wow.
Alright, so
impressive.
we will check though the weights. I always check the weight of the luggage. This one is kind of heavy, so let's have a look. I am at 0. Let's have a look. 17 kgs and 40 cents.
Oh, we have some room.
We can do 6 more kgs if we wanted to.
That means we can bring more stuff back with us.
Here you go. So that's the number 1 right here. And yeah, that's enough for 2 people for 3 weeks in the Cook Islands, and with extra things, including like extra change of clothes and anything like that. Alright.
Okay, just in the live chat we have Joey saying, I've gone on many hikes and never had to use the Kit Touch. Would that I won't need to. Yeah, it's always good to have it. A lot of the times I feel like I've used it more on other people, the like first aid kit and stuff, but it's always, you need it when you don't have it.
Yeah.
And
It's
you know
like
the
that.
saying, so that seems to be the case, but.
Alright,
Yeah.
dryer sheet again. 3 dryer sheet in his bag and a couple of, remind me the name of those moisture absorbers.
Moisture absorbers.
There you go,
Let's
easy
go
as.
for that.
Okay, so this carry-on right here is going to have my underwear and our socks because that's easier that way.
Because reasons, guys.
Yes.
Because reasons.
It's just I don't like to just overpack things anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so we do have our own snorkeling gears, just because when going to the South Pacific, you will be able to borrow or rent snorkeling gears. But first up, it's COVID times, you don't necessarily want to put your mouth where somebody else has put a mouth. But second, usually they're a little bit like lower quality, so the snorkeling gears that we have high quality silicones. They're basically the best snorkeling gear we've ever had. And so yeah, so we do like to have our own pack our own gears for that, just because when maybe it's just us, but when we swim, we want to be able to focus on taking pictures and focusing on the experience rather than trying to make sure that the snorkeling gears work properly, swallowing half the sea of seawater. So yeah, so we have our snorkeling gears in there. Another couple of things that we are packing in this bag are going to be our Life Straw bottle of water. So the best thing about Life Straw, and Laura, if you want to show them than the items. So yeah, so the best thing about Live Straw is that inside the Live Straw bottle of water there is, and again we're not working for Live Straw, just making it clear, we're not sponsored, hashtag not sponsored, but if you guys want to sponsor us, we use you guys a ton, so you may want to sponsor us. Anyway, so this is a filtration system that filters 99.9% of the common bad things in water, and so literally you can put that in a stream and you can drink through it, and that's really, really handy. So what we do is that we refill all our bottle of water in all the taps, and we drink through that. Literally everything we drink, I mean everything, not the cocktails, but every drop of water that we're drinking when in the South Pacific is happening through the Live Straw bottle of water. They have new bottles which are actually metal, and that will be much less of a worry, like bashing them around and everything. So we may invest into metal ones, but for now we'll do those ones. Anyway, they are super handy, and this is how we drink when in the South Pacific. And on top of that, the great thing is that it saves so many bottles of water, because a lot of people travel around the South Pacific and drink a ton of bottled water, and that is gonna outlive you, this plastic. So what about you try not to do that and you use Live Straw bottles of water? Here you go. I'm gonna move that to
I'm just gonna finish reading Joey's comments because he's about to go. So we have Joey saying, my spelling right now is horrendous. So yeah, don't worry, Joey. I'm sure that you're probably very jet lagged. And after your 29-hour flight, we can forgive you for spelling that might be a little bit all over the place. And he says, sorry guys, I'll have to go and have some late lunch. Ooh, how delightful.
That's very late lunch.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Joey. We also have some comments from Natasha saying, sexy luggage is goals. I'm glad you like our sexy luggage.
Sexy luggage? Is it because of me? Is that why you're saying?
Is it the model displaying the luggage, or is it the luggage itself? But yeah, no, we really love these yellow luggages. Are so cool, especially like they really pop out in pictures and stuff as well. So yeah, they're pretty good looking, that luggage. And she also says, oops, I think you timed the Facebook reminder for right now instead of an hour ago.
Whoopsie! Well, if you guys are showing up, hi guys! Okay, so what else do we have? Yeah, so in this bag as well, we will have all our camera gears. So this is why this one is going to remain mostly empty. So in there we're going to have, and again, we go over there for work, so we had to get all the approval, accreditation and all this, but we're going with DSLRs, GoPros, and we need obviously all the battery chargers, accessories, and also a drone. And we recommend packing all that in your carry-on because of all the batteries and all those requirements. You will need to take them out at the airport to show them, and it's going to make your life way easier if everything is in your carry-on. I'm just trying to figure out
a better way of packing that.
Yeah, I will. You know what? I'll ponder on it, and
because once all the electronics go in there as well, you're probably going to have to rearrange everything anyway.
We'll see. I don't think so. I think we'll be fine.
So for our Patreons, actually, Robin will be going over the camera gear and stuff that we're going to be taking to the Cook Islands during the next Patreon session. Is it the next Patreon session?
Yeah. So we'll do that together. If you guys are cool and you guys are interested in doing that, if you guys are cool enough.
We already know you guys are cool, so yeah.
If you guys are interested in that, I was planning on doing that with you guys on Sunday during the extra Patreon exclusive live sessions. That could be quite fun. Alright, so I'm gonna pack this one for now, and I will go over the camera gears afterwards. Also, the reason why the camera gear is not packed right now is just because I haven't finished selecting all the GoPro accessory we need and all that. Again, we're about a week and a half away from our trip, so I still have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
I kept those one out, I'll put them in the other bag. So here you go. This one's gonna be full of cameras and it's definitely under the weight. And this one right here is our most accessible bag. I actually think I should put the water bottle in this one as well.
Yeah.
So that's a more accessible. Yeah, you know what? I'll do that. I'll do that. You see, this is live right here, guys.
Oh my god.
This is live. We're making decisions
a live packing.
Yes.
It's so exciting.
Yes.
It's like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, what's going on next? So I'll put them in here so we can actually use that. So this bag right here is from Herschel. Again, you buy it or you don't buy it, doesn't really matter to us. But so that's a bag from Herschel, which is the Eco Ranch. They're pretty good. They have like a laptop pouch underneath and all lining and everything. But the best thing about them is that they're made out of recycled bottled water. So that takes a lot of plastic out of landfill, which I'm really happy about. So as mentioned, my undies are gonna go in there and all socks are gonna go in there. So in case we lose all our bags, I can still rely on my undies and my socks.
So you've got your own undies and your socks. What happens if the bag is lost and I have no undies and socks?
Laura goes commando. Okay, I put the 2 bottles of water right here, and you guys know, so again, you know we like gaming. So here we have 2 games. We have archaeology and love letters. And this one is called Hive, and that's a game that I haven't talked about just yet about travel games, but that's our new favorite travel game. So here you go, guys. A bit of an insight on what's gonna be the 2022 best travel game by Robin. Here is
another Patreon exclusive right here.
Here you go. Boom, breaking news. All right, so this one's gonna go here. I'm also gonna put the luggage scale right here for now. Alright, I'm gonna put that in there. But yeah, so obviously we do have a full list of like in this bag we're gonna have our wallets and plane tickets and vaccine passport and vaccine COVID this and COVID that. And yeah, where is the list? Where is the list? Look at that. I'm going to put some tissues in there. It's always good to have some tissues. I always get the sniffles in the plane. And at the moment, getting the sniffle in the plane really scares a lot of people. So I'd like to manage my sniffles very...
if anyone sees you blowing your nose, they'll probably get scared anyway.
Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get into the country. If I normally have the sniffles in the planes, guys. Don't kick me out of the country. But yeah, that's basically what we're traveling with. We don't travel with much more than that. As you can see, we like to pack very efficiently. I arrived in New Zealand actually when I came. I arrived with just one carry-on bag like this one, except that it was black and it has a different branding on here, but basically about that size only. So here you go.
Yeah.
Alright, let's have a look at the list of the things that we have not packed just yet. Let's talk about that just quickly before the end of this live session. So, we have some extra shirts for Laura, some genders. I usually like to pack in the medicine box. I like to pack some ascorbic acid. I'm going to move a little bit more so it's
which is
nice,
vitamin C.
Yeah, so it's basically vitamin C. In case you're feeling a little bit like jet lag or you're struggling a little bit with your trip, it's a nice little boost to get yourself going.
To the immune system.
Exactly. Laura needs to get some Panadol and some ibuprofen from the pharmacy, so she's going on Friday. That's a little insight into our life. Fantastic, isn't it? Okay, we need to pack our keys, the home keys. What? Yes, we do need to pack our home keys.
Yeah, and preferably the car keys to get to the airport.
Yes, here you go. So those kind of things. I just realized I need some friends right here. Oops. It's a bit dirty. I don't like that it makes the table bend a little bit, but I don't have anywhere to sit, so I will
just casually lean.
I will lean. Look at that. Yes. Okay, Laura is getting some insect repellent. We obviously have our nice, like good face mask, which are like PM 2.5. So I don't know, they're good face masks basically. Toothbrush and toothpaste, we talked about it, and then a big bunch of electronics. So that's really going to fill most of the carry-on, the yellow carry-on right here. Laura, do you want to go through all the electronics? It starts basically here, and that's going to fill up that whole bag right here.
So, we also will be needing a phone battery, an extra phone battery, because, my phone is a little bit old and the battery life isn't so great on it, so it's good to have a spare one when you're out and about and you can't charge it regularly. We're going to have, obviously, my phone, Robin's phone, I mean,
need to stay in touch with you guys.
Who goes anywhere without their phone nowadays? That's crazy. And then we have our phone charger for Robin, phone charger for me. Yes, we do need separate phone chargers because my phone is really old and Robin's is nice and new. We also have a laptop for Robin to work on.
Yes.
And we also need a laptop for me to work on, which is currently the laptop we're using for this live session.
Laura gets the really good laptop, so here you go. We're not going to be packing that until literally the last minute. Since
yes,
we're going to do a live
we
session
need this for you guys for our next Sunday session. But yeah, and also when we're traveling around the South Pacific, we're doing lots of photos, we do lots of work and photo editing and stuff while we're on the go, so it is handy to have a couple of laptops available. And we're also going to take an extra we're going to take a mouse, so it's easier to use our laptop with spare batteries for the mouse.
Because Laura does a lot of photo editing
Yes.
as we go, so early in the morning she does a lot of photo editing. Actually, I'm planning on doing a day behind the scene in our life when we're on the go, and what it really looks like, and you'll see that it is a little bit more work than what most people think. So yeah, you'll see that yeah, we do a lot of video editing, and it's so much easier than the pad. I personally also hate the pad, but I don't bother like packing a mouse for myself. But damn, I really hate that pad.
Yeah,
I really don't like it.
It's not as nice to use, is
Yeah.
it? So in terms of our camera gear, we're going to be taking a drone. We get permission from the Cook Islands government to use our drone while we're going around the South
You have to register as well.
Yeah, because it's getting harder and harder to travel with a drone and be legally able to use it. It's the same for New Zealand, and there's a lot of restrictions in New Zealand.
And more
as well.
expensive. It costs a lot of money to get
Yeah.
the the right to fly drones in different places. You have
Yeah.
to do applications and everything. So we don't recommend traveling with a drone, but obviously we do that for a living, so we do have to.
We also are going to be packing a GoPro, which is, well, you guys know what a GoPro is. It's a small action camera. Mainly we're going to be doing a lot of underwater stuff in the Cook Islands, hopefully swimming with turtles, but lots of snorkeling as well, and lagoon cruises and all that sort of thing. So we're going to try and get some really awesome shots in the water with our GoPro. And we also are taking a DSLR, which is it's quite a huge camera, but it is like a professional camera for taking some lovely, stunning shots in the Cook Islands. And of course, all the accessories that go along with those, as well as spare batteries, because again, when you're on the go, you don't have time to charge the battery, so it's good to have a couple of spares.
Yeah, so
it's always
pretty much
easy.
every camera we actually have 2 extra batteries. So we have 3 batteries for everything. We have 3 batteries for the drone, 3 batteries for the GoPro, 3 batteries for the DSLR. We usually go through all of that in every single one of the day. Just making that really clear. We do go through a lot of batteries, a lot of photos. I have actually some extra SD cards which are coming up soon and to pack as well. Actually, I need to add that to the list. I need to pack the extra SD card. So we have 64 gig twice, and we also want to pack like spare. Oops. Ooh,
Okay, so while you are doing that, we got a couple of more but comments. Well, it is a question actually. Natasha says, is Weet-Bix traveling too? Now, would Weet-Bix be classed as overpacking? Or is he an essential? Maybe we should put that in the next poll for our live Sunday session. Should we pack Weet-Bix?
No, we're not taking Weet-Bix.
Hey, we already established that our check-in luggage is 17 kgs and
So 6 kgs under.
so we're 6 kgs under the limit. I think we can afford to take Weet-Bix. I mean, yeah, and be one of those people that takes photos of their stuffed toy around when they're traveling. We could be one of those people. It's about time, I think. And Natasha also says, I agree, carpal tunnel is real. Yes, it is. We work on computers a lot, and optimum comfort while on your laptop or computer it's very important.
It is a premium. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, we kitted out right here in the office. We definitely have great computers, multiple screens and everything. And just doing this live session in a different spot than the usual, only having one screen, it gives me flashback from 2019. And oh my god, this is just not as good. So yeah, I'm really thankful about all you guys on Patreon, by the way, because you guys are the one that made it possible for me to be able to reset the studio properly, have kit it out so much. You guys saw the whole process of kitting out that studio as we progress for example, on our secret Facebook group. I keep on sharing all the improvement I do to the studio, and I'm so thankful because it really, really genuinely, those little touch makes our life so much easier. So I really do appreciate it. And if you guys are watching a replay of this, first up, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It's a great way to reward all our hard work. But if you feel like joining our Patreon group, it's really fun. There's plenty of awesome rewards, live session like this one, which is quite fun. And also, a secret Facebook group in which we share a lot of behind the scenes and some extra tips and some extra photos. And we're probably going to do a daily diary of traveling around the Cook Island. Diary.
Diary.
I can't pronounce that. I hate that
Dairy
word.
diary.
just give me some cheese.
Yeah,
so
always
yeah.
got cheese on the mind.
So we're probably going to be doing a daily vlog of us traveling around the Cook Islands on top of that for the Facebook group. So yeah, that's a lot of exclusive. What is Natasha saying?
Natasha says 2019 was a good, simple time. If you really think about it, it really was. It really
How
was.
oblivious were we? We actually in 2019 we made a plan with Laura, which was a 4-year plan of what we wanted to accomplish within the next 4 years, and yeah, 2023 is not that far, and
Yeah, we were planning on doing travel guides for much more of the South Pacific Islands, but obviously all those plans were put on hold for just over 2 years now. So as you can see, we're really excited to be getting back on the road and doing some more travel guides about the South Pacific to complement all the information that we have about New Zealand. But yeah, now it's finally happening. We can get back to it, and yeah, it'll be interesting to sort of leave New Zealand for the first time in about almost 3 years.
Yeah, that has been a long time. Yeah. So we're pretty excited about that trip, obviously. So we're almost all packed. Any extra travel tips that you, packing tips that you want to share with people? We do have an extra about 10 minutes, so we can talk about more travel tips. If you have some questions, I think there is about only Natasha right here. I don't know how many of you guys are watching right now because we can't see any of the stats. So yeah, so if you're here and you want to ask us your questions, we are definitely going to stick around for an extra at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, or just pop in to say hi. If you don't have any questions, you can always just say hi so we know that you're watching. Natasha says, I think you guys have done great for what we've had to deal with, especially as a travel-focused business. And Natasha says, I think I'm alone.
Oh no! You may be able to see that. Usually it tells you how many people are watching, but it's okay if you're alone. That's the thing. We love every single one on Patreon, and if we do have to do a session with only one person, we do it.
We will do it.
By the way, I would like to say hi to Tamo. He's one of our Patreon, and he said he sadly couldn't make it, but he's gonna watch the replay. But he said that watching a replay of a live session on YouTube is like reheating a great meal in the microwave. And I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of fun, but yeah, he said that on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's always good, like the second day when you're ready to, if you're like, that meal was so awesome yesterday, I can't wait to have it again.
And then you nuke it is disgusting. Anyway, travel
tips for packing. Well, my first travel tip would be, we don't mean to toot our own horn, but we have heaps of packing tips on NZPocketGuide.com, and of course for each of the...
I thought you were about to compliment my amazing packing.
Oh!
Wow!
First of all, I'd like to thank Robin for his amazing packing skills and how he managed to fit all that into a suitcase
just one bag.
and be under 6 kgs under the limit. That is pretty impressive. But what I was going to say is that we actually have a whole comprehensive list of full packing lists for each of the destinations that we cover. Obviously for New Zealand on nzpocketguide.com, for Fiji on fijipocketguide.com, for Niue on niuepocketguide.com, for Tonga on tongapocketguide.com, and very soon, because this is what we're packing for right now, for the Cook Islands on Cook Islands Pocket Guide.
By the time the video get public, cookislandpocketguide.com will be a reality, so you'll be able to see that. So by the time the video is live, Cook Island Pocket Guide will be a thing.
Yes. So guys, make sure that if you want to see like a written form of our packing lists, head to those websites. I'm sure Robin will put some links in the description below of those packing lists, but that lists everything and even some extra stuff that, when packing lists are very personal, so you tend to, you don't want to just follow everything on the list, but if there's things that apply to you, things that don't apply to you, obviously just sort of pack accordingly, but we always try and add a few extra things onto our packing list so that we're just making sure we cover all bases.
And then you're more welcome to remove stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so I have another tip about packing. Basically, think about what are your heavier items and choose those ones to wear them in the plane. So, for example, for us, we are going to be going to the South Pacific with some forms of hiking shoes. I do like mine to be quite heavy and sturdy, like high ankle, and Laura like them to be a little bit smaller. But yeah, so we do like to travel around with some nice hiking shoes. That's the shoes that we're going to choose to travel with in a plane. And to be fair, they are the shoes that I find the most comfortable. I think I've been, it's been so many years now, just comfortable in hiking shoes. Same thing, I'm going to be wearing pants in the plane. It's usually a little bit chilly, so we may have our jumpers with us. So I may actually get a jumper out of the bag and then put them in our carry-on, so we have a jumper in case we get a little bit cold. So yeah, think about that and choose accordingly what to wear when making your way toward the Cook Islands. Obviously, carrying a merino wool jumper when going to Cook Islands sounds a little bit crazy, but the weather can turn quite a lot and quite easily. So especially during the wet season, so you may actually be happy to have an extra layer to wear. So yeah, that's another tip that I will give you. There is some extra shadows happening. Yeah, it's slowly getting darker.
It's getting darker outside right now, and it's getting really cloudy. And I've just noticed like the sun's just disappeared and made put us all in darkness. But...
And we only had the light for Laura this time around because I didn't want to move too many things. So I was like, oh, I'll be in the darkness over there just packing things. But turned out that I'm definitely very dark right now. But that is okay.
Yeah. One thing that I have remembered that we didn't pack, I'm not sure whether we should take them to the Cook Islands or not. Guys, when we go to the Cook Islands, we will know for sure because we will do all our research in the Cook Islands. But it is reef shoes.
Oh yes, we definitely need to pack reef shoes.
So Robin has a really good pair of water shoes that are basically like...
Very good call.
They're basically like trainers or sneakers, but they are waterproof as well. They are kind of more strappy, so the water can... when you put it in the water can drain from it straight away, so they don't feel too heavy in the water. So Robin has that sort of like water shoes would probably be more the term for that. But for me, I have reef shoes, which are shoes that mostly surfers wear. I guess they have they're made of nylon and have a bit of a rubber sole, so they're not as good. Like you can still feel things underneath you, but it's not going to be as sharp as standing on coral, for instance, which it tends to be like a thing in the South Pacific. It is a good idea to have a pair of
We will 100% pack reef shoes. That is a very good call right here. If only I knew where they were, I would literally rush and go get them right now to show them to you.
Yeah.
But I actually cannot remember at all where they are, so I'll have to actually dig for the reef shoes and try to find them. But yes, we were 100% going to pack some reef shoes, put them in there. So probably the reef shoes are actually going to go in there, so I can get I will get out the jumpers. And I will put the reef shoes instead.
Yeah, so look guys, that 6 kg spare that we had, we'll slowly, once we start remembering extra stuff, we will start, filling that up. But
Let's say the merino jumper are quite heavy, so I think, and the reef shoes are quite light, so I think that we're actually going to save some weight. I think that we're going to save some weight.
But that's also like, this live again, the live packing, this is what it shows you, that it is a good idea to actually pack a week or two before you go, because you do tend to, the memory sort of trickles and, you start to realize like, oh yeah, I remember I had this thing that would be very useful to take, so yeah. Yeah,
but even just the reef shoes, right? It's not just because you're going to go on to reef or anything, but we have planned to do a couple of island cruises around the Cook Islands when we're going to be going over there. It's just some day tours that take you to different sandbanks and islands around, and having reef shoes allows you to jump in and out the boat very easily when going to all the sandbanks, rather than your gendals, they're going to break, or it's not easy to walk in water with the gendals. But if you do have those shoes, then we get to be able to run around and be able to take all the photos we want to take.
Well, I might want to take those instead of my jandals, perhaps. We'll see how much.
That'd be very smart. I think Laura is having
onto something here.
Right ideas right now. So yeah, we're figuring it out with you right here. I know they may just be Natasha right here, but I don't care, Natasha. We are figuring things out with you, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your presence, Natasha.
Another thing about I don't know if we emphasized enough.
Something else to add to the list?
Not to add to the list.
Okay, I can drink that. It's straight vodka, by the way, guys. It's not water, it's pure vodka right now.
This is what happens when we do a live session, actually not at 8 a.m. in the morning, we can start drinking. But anyway, so a thing that I don't think we emphasized a lot was the type of sunscreen that we take to the South Pacific Islands. We always take reef safe sunscreen, which means that it doesn't have the ingredients in there in the standard sunscreen that would usually damage the coral and cause coral bleaching and actually kill young coral. We always make sure that when we go to the South Pacific that we're using a reef-safe sunscreen. So just an extra quick tip about that.
I think Natasha is hinting at us packing sunglasses, but yeah, it is packed. It's already in the bag.
Yes.
One of them over there.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because obviously we wear these sort of glasses, you know, normal sight glasses. We also have sun prescription glasses, but I'm also going to be wearing contact lenses over there and have another set of sunglasses to take for that as well.
Yeah. Natasha says NZ Pocket Guide after hours. Yeah. It's like, welcome to NZ Pocket Guide after dark.
Where we pack clothes.
Yeah,
Woo!
wow. You know, we don't take off clothes, we pack clothes and put them in packing cube and then put them inside a suitcase. This is how we do it after dark here.
And we don't even show our underwear to our viewers. I mean,
Yes.
what sort of after dark channel
I know.
is this?
I know, it's so boring, so boring. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude this packing session. I hope that you guys got a lot of packing tips for obviously the Cook Islands, any other island destination. I hope that's definitely going to be super handy for you guys. And we also try to sprinkle some tidbits of New Zealand packing tips as well. But yeah, if you are after more tips about traveling in New Zealand, check out nzpocketguide.com. Any other tips for traveling to most of the South Pacific islands, you may want to check South Pacific Pocket Guide. It's a directory with like plenty of all of our older travel guide. There is a lot of links in the description below. We have Cook Island, Niue, Tonga, Fiji, and we have more to come. And yeah, I hope that you find this video super useful. As I said, if you feel like supporting our good work, you may want to join us on Patreon. This video was live for all our Patreons, so they got to see it like months ahead, which is quite cool. And yeah, they make everything possible. They make this whole setup possible. They make all of it possible. And you know, if you need more commenting, look in the eyes of Whitbix. Look at him. Look at Whitbix. He's the best.
Should we take him to the Cook Islands? We'll find out in the next poll.
Yeah, comment below. Comment below if we should take Whitbix to the Cook Islands.
Yes.
In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, guys. It has been a pleasure to do a very different live session. I really did enjoy it. I hope that you guys did too. And yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you next time. And thanks to all our Patreons.
Now I need to be live and trying to figure this out. And
this is the awkward moment.
yeah, the awkward moment.
Robin tries to end the stream
Here you
with
go.
our new setup. All right, bye guys.